Welcome to Channel 6 News. I'm Morgan Lee.
And I'm Matt Lee.
And we're here signing on to this week's news. Today's Friday the 13th, and for lunch we're having chicken nuggets or a hamburger. No school on Monday in honor of President's Day. There will be a track meeting in Mr. Carlson's room during ELP on Tuesday the 17th. On Wednesday the 18th, a financial aid or FAFSA meeting will be going on in the Media Center for all seniors and their parents. On the 18th, Mr. Myers, Mr. Dickinson, and Mr. Carlson will be taking the seniors to the Kansas City Federal Reserve. Spring is right around the corner, and for those of you interested in softball, there's a sign-up sheet in the high school office.
People started exchanging cards around the 15th century, and we continue the tradition of gift exchanges today. Despite that, many people still have mixed feelings about Valentine's Day. We interviewed Chelsea Lee, Joshua Hawley, Matthew Rana, and Hannah Froggett to share their thoughts on the upcoming occasion.
I plan to pick her up from work since she doesn't ever get a day off. And then we'll open each other's gifts and make cookies. And I'll be in charge of the cooking.
He will be in charge of the cooking. My idea of the perfect date would probably involve Disney movies and chocolate. I don't even know where they would be. On my couch, in a park. I don't even care. As long as chocolate is involved.
And Disney movies.
And Disney movies.
My idea of a perfect date would probably be giving her a perfect date.
I don't have any plans for Valentine's Day. I normally don't have plans for Valentine's Day. My thoughts on it? In high school, I don't feel there's really that much romance.
Plans for Valentine's Day are I'm going to go see a movie with my boyfriend and then we're going to go out to dinner afterwards. My idea of a perfect date would be staying at home and watching Netflix and eating popcorn or playing video games. I love romance, sometimes it's not okay. I do believe everybody has a soulmate. I think it just takes time for other people to get them, I guess.
Art is something that many people can't agree on. When what some people might consider a masterpiece, others may think that whatever was drawn looked like you gave a kindergartner some finger paint and crowns. Tim Osborne is the art teacher at Humboldt High and has spent many years teaching the students the techniques to become better in people's eyes. For the start of the second part of the midterm, the art class has been learning the medium of watercolor paintings. Watercolor is a technique that uses water to move pigments of color.
What I like most about art is the way Mr. Osborne just kind of lets us relax and do what we want. Not like you have to do this at a certain time or you have to do this. You just do what you want and make sure you hit his deadlines on when he wants it. I do rough sketches and we are starting to paint, which I hope is my favorite. I have done watercoloring paintings like in books and stuff from when I was little and I liked it then, so I figured I would like it now. I can see it being a hard medium, but then I see it not being a hard medium because it's just water and color, so you can add more water or add more paint when needed. The most difficult part of working with it is going to be getting around your edges and not going over certain spots that you don't want to go over.
The art class has done many different types of mediums before this one, whether it be pencils, paints, or oils. The art class will be making Humboldt High have just a little more color.
Now let's go on over to Reagan to take a closer look at this week's sports.
Thanks, Matt and Morgan. Humboldt takes on Fredonia tonight at Fredonia. Humboldt has been on a winning streak and is trying to keep it going and improve their overall records and move up in the rankings. Good luck to our varsity boys and girls as they take on another tough competitor.
It's time for this week's Cub Club Spotlight, and this week we're focusing on Scholars Bowl. Scholars Bowl is an after-school activity where students can show off their intelligence in competitions against other schools. Students can learn many things by being in this club, like fine arts, current events, and science.
Now we're going over to Kay to discuss this weekend's weather lineup.
The forecast for today is partly cloudy with a high of 53 and a low of 31. Tomorrow is partly cloudy with a high of 50 and a low of 17. Sunday is partly cloudy as well as with a chilling high of 35 and a low of 24. This is Kay Hammer signing off with this weekend's weather.
That's all we have for this week. This is Morgan Lee
And Matt Lee.
signing off for Channel 6 News.
See you next time, Humboldt.
And don't walk in under any ladders.